Hi, folks. Excuse me. Holy cow. I was just bothering me really bad. The weather changed and moisture came up and something nasty. But hey, this is my, I guess, video response to, shoot, I forgot his name that Tim had put up about, interviewing you as an RPG channel producer kind of thing. So, and there were a handful of questions, and a couple of people have already put up stuff, so I was planning on doing one myself. So here we go. What's my channel called and why? My channel on YouTube is called Brian1187. Brian because that's me, and it is Brian, not Byron. And 1187 has some significance for me. I did a thesis on the Crusades and the just war concept. And in July, the 4th of July, 1187 is when the Crusaders took Jerusalem. So that number has some significance to me. If anybody wants to talk, Saracens and Crusaders sometime, we can do that elsewhere. Okay, why is it called that? Well, that's why it's called that way. The focus of my channel. I started my channel when I started running the Prince of the Apocalypse campaign book for my local gaming group. We had previously, under another dungeon master, done the starter set because we had two brand new guys who hadn't played D&D at all, and well, three of us were old timers, and then my son who played some stuff, but mostly RPGs on the internet, that kind of thing. So we figured, 5th edition was on now. Let's all learn the same system. Let's start out new, and so we went through the starter set with one GM, and then another GM took over for the Underdark. What's that one called? Shoot, I should take some notes on stuff. But we went to the Demon, the Underdark campaign book, and he actually transitioned us about 5th level to the service. We went into Storm King's Thunder from there, and we had finished that up this past fall, I believe. Or it's been longer than that. Maybe it's been longer than that. But we finished that up, and I mentioned I was interested in running, and so they said sure. And one of the guys had Prince of the Apocalypse. Here, run this one. So I grabbed that and we ran with it. And so my first focus of my channel was kind of a review of the game for me. Things as a game master I noticed I could have done better. A review of the campaign overall as things are happening to help me remember what's going on. And I ended up doing a review of the book itself because I ran across a handful of things right off the front going, oh, this is insane. I can't believe somebody published this kind of material. I mean, they have proofreaders for a reason, right? But nevertheless. So that's how I started my channel, was just doing that. And then I ran across RuneSlinger and the RPG Brigade and the RPG a month thing in August. So I did that. I thought that was really fun. And then I also, actually prior to that, I got hooked up with Chaosium and running some of the RuneQuest Glorantha, the new game system they have for RuneQuest coming out for folks at Gen Con and at Origins. And I'm a RuneQuester at heart, and so I bit off on that one, and I'm drinking all that Kool-Aid. So I did a bunch of stuff. Well, I did a handful of videos about the quick start and the scenarios I ran. And since then, I've started running some demos at my local gaming store to try and generate some interest and maybe even get a game running there. Actually, I got an old college buddy who contacted me via Facebook about Skyping into his game. He's on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast. So I've only played one session of his, which is based off of RuneQuest 3, but it's a space opera setting. So it's always kind of fun to do. In fact, he had asked me about if I had any science fiction kind of stuff for RuneQuest, and I have some stuff from Future World, which is part of a 3-box Worlds of Wonder set that Chaosium put out in 1980. that I had gleaned a whole bunch of stuff off of, and I had done actually some traveler conversions for that. But I sent him that, and he was apparently using some of it. But I digress. So he, seen some of my videos, asked if we could run my rune quest with him and some of the guys in his group back there. So I've been kind of working some issues on planning that out to try and make that happen. So if that does happen, I'll definitely put some of those onto my Facebook page channel, which is basically games that I play that I'm running as a GM, and then that's pretty much it. That's the focus of my game. My channel is my games as I play them, plus some odds and ends. I've thrown on a new sub channel about these video response things, because I started responding to a few of the other folks' videos, asking questions of what they think and what they do and how I interpret things, that kind of thing. So I've got a few. I think that's 3. That's about it. What is my best video? Obviously, I think the more and more that I actually do these broadcasts, the better and better I get. So I think my latest one was my personal best one. But in actually reviewing the analytics, my first video on RuneQuest role-playing in Glorantha has like 10 times the number of views as all my other videos do, and it has the most likes. It's got 7. I got a couple with 6 and a bunch with 4, but it had 7. So I actually reviewed that one. It was my very first one. Did it in July, so it was after I came back from Origins. And so I started talking about, okay, my game's doing RuneQuest at the convention, and and look at the analytics of that thing. Views dropped off dramatically in the first just couple of minutes. Because I'm assuming that people seeing the RuneQuest role playing Glorantha thing were thinking that would be a view of the actual quick start, whereas it wasn't. I rambled about a whole bunch of things. I discussed some of the scenarios we ran, and a whole bunch of stuff about my own personal interpretation of things and tweaking and that kind of stuff. So I can see where it dragged on and people just would lose interest. But it's interesting. Denmark has my highest viewership on that video, and the longest viewership. It's like 17 minutes out of the 24, or an average 17 minutes, and it's a 24-minute video. So interesting. Not sure what that means, but that's interesting. Okay, what to expect from my channel in the future? More than the same. I'm going to be reviewing my games, talking to myself about how I could have done things better, or how I want to improve, or if I try something new, how it worked out, that kind of thing. And then a review of the scenario itself. I know I like watching that from other folks, so I'm hoping other folks will kind of like that from mine. We'll see how that goes. But hopefully we'll get some more RuneQuest Glorantha. I'll do some more Stealing the Eye with the local gaming store, and hopefully if I get enough turnout, I'll start running the Broken Tower. And then we'll see if we can't get a group going from there. Plus, if my buddy Bruce and his folks, we manage to get all together, start running stuff, I'll be doing, actually think about streaming that live. My buddy Grant, who's my game master, he has a Twitch channel, and he's got all the software for that kind of stuff. So that's what I'll try to do. Live stream on Twitch, and then download and throw it on YouTube for people to look at later, kind of thing. So that's something new possibly with my channel. A channel I recently found. It's not that I found it recently, but it started recently, or at least part of it. Encounter Roleplay, which I found on Twitch, and I've watched some of their stuff because my buddy Grant got involved with them and was running some stuff, so I'd watch all the things he did. He's actually got a playlist, maybe you might call it, about developing your own world. It's called Storytime, I think, and shortcuts he uses on developing a world and how to build a society and your campaign kind of stuff. And he's been doing that recently. So that's the newest channel that I've found. Well, it's part of a channel, because Encounter Roleplay's been around for a while, apparently. But there's his thing. Excuse me for a minute. The Story Forge. That's what it's called. It's called the Story Forge. And he goes by Wise Papa Grant. If you see any of the stuff on Twitch that he's on, and he did a whole bunch of charity games in December, which I was able to play on a couple. It was a lot of fun. To earn money for a children's hospital. I think it was Shriners, but I don't recall if it was a children's hospital though. And he and one of the other Twitch guys, Exploding Dice, are putting together a World Series of D&D. We'll see how that all plays out. It should be kind of fun. Getting different Twitch team D&D players to play against, not play against each other, but to compete against, a con type scenario, like back in the old day. Parting words of wisdom. Specifically for me, stop rambling. I do that, I think, way too much, and I go too long. We've already passed 11 minutes now. This should have been a short little video. That's one thing. I don't mind people going long. I listen to stuff at work because I do number crunching. And I'll listen to videos that are 20, 30 minutes long, even these long things. Like I listen to Critical Role. Those are like 3.5, 4 hours long sometimes. So it'll take me a few days to get through that. And I picked up recently on Venture Maidens. In fact, I've caught up with them. So I did one recently, like last Wednesday, I think it was. And it's on Twitch, but it's not on YouTube. So I haven't caught completely up with them. And I got like 100 different channels on my YouTube list of things to go through that I haven't, I'm trying to catch up on bit by bit. Words of wisdom, like I said, for myself, stop rambling like I just did for a whole extra minute. But for guys in general, or for folks in general, because I try to be gender neutral in my terminology, because I know there are plenty of ladies out there play and do stuff. I just wish there were more in my area that I knew that we could pull into our game. But be genuine, be yourself, and put out what you want to put out. Do your thing. I started the whole channel is trying to reach into the whole community of reinforcing and supporting each other, because every table is different, every game is different, and maybe we can learn something from each other. That's what I take from this whole community interest thing is learning from each other, trying to make our game the best that we can make it. So learn that. Happy gaming.